Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. This is your host, Keely Austin. Today is Money Monday. It is November 23rd. I'm very excited to be here with you this morning. Our quote of the day is, if you want to be successful, you have to jump. There's no way around it. When you jump, I can assure you that your parachute will not open right away. But if you do not jump, your parachute will never open. You're safe, but you'll never soar. Steve Harvey. We have a couple of dates to take note of. We have our Renatus National Conference, March 18th through the 20th, 3 full days of phenomenal training. We're going to be meeting online for this national conference. Make sure to get those days off work and clear those out if you need to. That way you can be present for the training. Our theme is shifting higher into focused transformation. We also have our dates for a leaders retreat, August 13th through the 17th, 2021. I will see you all in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. So excited to see you there. Also, every Monday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, we have our Renatus Founders Live. Make sure that you do tune in. This is a weekly opportunity to get to learn what's going on with the company, any new announcements, important announcements. Also, we have a shared story of the week and a training. So make sure, again, you're tuning into the Founders Webinar at 4 p.m. on Mondays. That's Mountain Time. There are 3 kinds of people in this world: people who make it happen, people who watch what happens, and people who wonder what happened. So we've added some daily and weekly support to our systems. We've got a weekly private capital masterclass every Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. We also have our daily real estate action mastermind, the Dream Call, every day, Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock to 9:45. We have our fabulous Friday morning with Lily Puertas, 8 to 9. And last but not least, we have a get to know you call, our Zoom up call. Scott Rowe, Michael Huggins have put together this call. It's short and sweet. It's about 15-20 minutes, and each day is a different story, a success story. So make sure that you're tuning into the Zoom up call at noon, Monday through Friday. To access that, you go to bit.ly/zoomup with a capital Z. And those are all recorded. You can find all of those recordings on the YouTube channel, our Elevate Renatus YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure you visit oes.com. There's a short video there that Michael put together that talks about the OES, what it is, and why you want to be a part of the optional event subscription. Last week's house tour, we toured Dane Clark's Flip on Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we have a virtual fix and flip house tour. The numbers on the flip last week: purchase price was $150,000, rehab was $60,000, and it's already in closing to be sold for around $350,000. So Dane Clark is looking at a net profit of over $72,000. Congratulations, Dane. Here is a quick snapshot of the reoccurring weekly events that we have going on to help support you along with your business. If you'd like to take a screenshot of this, I'll give you just a second to do so. We're going to go through these here in just a moment. So every Tuesday, we have our Profits Intro, Tuesdays at 12:30 Mountain Time. Michael Huggins does a fantastic job at sharing what the profits is and sharing it with people from around the world. Every Wednesday, as I just mentioned, we have our house tour offered in the English language. And then we also have an AIT bonus track study group offered in Spanish. So that's every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Every Thursday, we have all kinds of events to choose from. These are all at 7 p.m. So you do need to pick and choose which one you want to plug in with, and as well as your guests. So every Thursday, we have our house tour offered in Spanish. We've got a Pillars of Wealth webinar in English, follow-up and funding webinar. We have an onboarding session. We have essential study group, business development study group, also these three real estate study groups: multifamily, wholesaling, and short-term rental. So we have so much going on each and every week, so much to plug into, and I just love it. I'm so grateful for all of the support provided for us here in Renatus. We do record these morning calls. We're also on Facebook Live, so you can catch the recording on Facebook on our Renatus Team Elevate private Facebook page. You can also find the recordings on our YouTube channel, Elevate Renatus. So subscribe to that channel and you can catch these recordings there, as well as the Zoom up calls that I mentioned just a moment ago. Today, we get to learn from the wonderful Michael Huggins. Michael Huggins is an incredible individual who I've been fortunate enough to know for about 13, 14 years now. And I watched hands-on the transformation from where he was to where he is now. And it was an incredible transformation. He really focused on mindset, listening to his mentors, diving into his education, and taking massive action. So Michael has been involved with Renatus for about 10 years. He's got so much experience to share with us, so make sure that you take notes. Michael came from very humble beginnings. He was working for both Jiffy Lube and Sears Auto as an auto mechanic, but still found himself, even as a very hard worker, found himself drowning in student loan debt and just very frustrated. So he knew he needed to make a change. He wanted to get out of his girlfriend's mother's basement and into a better position financially. So he found an ad in the newspaper, actually, found Renatus. And fast forward to today, Michael is now, he's earned multiple $1 million in this business. He owns many, many properties across the United States. Most recently, he purchased over 260 acres in Tennessee, where he is building the largest food forest in America. It's absolutely incredible what he's doing. So again, make sure that you take notes. I'm excited for what you have to share with us this morning. Michael, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the call. Thank you, Keely. What's up, folks? It's another beautiful day. It's Money Monday. And we had an awesome workshop. I hope all of you were there. And if you missed it, man, Tony laid it down. All of my guests were absolutely in love with the program. And I have a lot of follow-ups this week. I already did one last night because I just couldn't wait. There's some of these people are just like, man, sign me up. So how did it go for you? I know we did a big push for Tony Scotti. Team Elevate had 240 people attend that workshop. I think there were something like 500 or 520 total. And Team Elevate brought the heat, brought half the team. So there's a so there's okay, so 542 total. Awesome. So with that being said, so I'll tell you what my follow-up last night was like, and then we can talk about what all of you are going to be doing this week, because I know a lot of you had guests, right? We had 240 people there. There's only 75 of us right here right now. So after the meeting, so it wrapped up at 5 o'clock here, and Vanessa was like, hey, will you go to the grocery store? And I said, yeah, of course I'll go to the grocery store. Okay. And then I get into the car and I start texting all my leads. And for like 30 minutes, I'm texting them, hey, what'd you like? Mostly what I'm saying is, what did you like best about what you saw? I said, I'm so glad you attended. That was amazing. What did you like best about what you saw? I just copied and pasted that to all of my guests. Okay. And a few of them text back right away. And so I was like, well, heck, I know we got a busy week. If you're cool with talking on Sunday, why don't we just chat tomorrow? Well, anyway, a half an hour goes by and I'm booking all my appointments. And then Vanessa texts me and she's like, are you still in the driveway? I'm like, well, yeah. She's like, you could have been at the grocery store and been on your way back by now. And I'm like, yep, I get it. But there's only this window where people just got off the webinar and I just this is what I'm doing. And so because of that, on Saturday, I was able to have a follow-up yesterday. The guy from yesterday when I first told him it was 23,000 last week, he was like, holy cow. But then he saw through the Velocity banking, he was like, wait a minute. He did some math and he was like, this is only going to be like $90 a month if I get a HELOC. Yeah. Can you afford $90 a month? So, so I told him, and this is, we got the deadline coming up on Friday. So if all of you were clear about that, the promotion that corporate is offering is anyone who buys a combo in November, and they're in by this Friday, the 27th, right? That's the 27th? Yes, the 27th. They will get 6 bonus coaching sessions. So when I explained that to my lead from last night, he really liked that idea, but then also with the offer that Tony Scotti has. Is everyone clear on what Tony is offering? For anyone who attended the intensive, if you have your essentials or you get someone to buy their essentials, in January, he's going to do a 3-week implementation boot camp on velocity banking. Not just the class, but the implementation of it. So I got my guys and gals, all the people who I've enrolled in the last little couple months, making sure that they're going to attend that. So all of you, put that on your calendar too. Then anyone who gets their AIT extreme in the system by Friday is also going to get 4 bonus trainings with Tony on contract for deed. So if you think about it, we just went from 6 coaching sessions to 19 coaching sessions for your customers if they take action this week. Rich Dad Poor Dad has a 15 one-on-one coaching session program. They charge $30,000. So when we're saying, hey, you're going to get 19 coaching sessions over the next year and this volume of online education 24/7, this is a screaming deal. So I got him really excited about it. Joe, you're going to see Joe more often. Gustav just joined us. I think it was 2 weeks now. So I'm making sure that he's going to get in the Essentials Boot Camp with Tony Scotti for velocity banking. You know, so you got to go make sure that all of your peeps are getting plugged in. Then I got 2 people tonight that both have the ability to upgrade. And both of them I found off of LinkedIn. Okay, one lady was in Kentucky, another guy was in New York. They're both in their 50s, and they've been self-employed for 10 or 15 years, and they're just like, damn it, I am still in the same place I was 10 or 15 years ago. It's still paycheck to paycheck, but now I'm my own boss. And I'm like, yep, Tony actually talked about that at the beginning of the class. So both of those people have the ability to upgrade. So if I get Joe, Trish, and Phil to upgrade, well, Joe and Trish need to upgrade because they have their essentials. Phil, last second backed out of his essentials, but then showed up to the intensive. So I'm thinking he had a change of heart. And then I have Jim Terry, which is just fun to say because Jim Terry. And I found out that guy has like 300,000 in a 401k. And he's like, I don't know how I'm going to retire. I'm like, yeah, 300,000 is not enough, dude. You need recurring income. So I have a follow-up with him later this week. And then Yasmina Bola from Serbia. But she's actually here in Tennessee, but she's a commercial lender. And she was blown away. She'd been doing lending for 20 years. And when she saw what Tony was doing, it blew her mind. So I want to get her obviously involved. She can definitely afford it too. So, and then I had a few other people obviously I got some people on the team who love Renatus, but haven't upgraded yet. So I'm going to follow up with them this week and hopefully get some upgrades because of Tony's offer plus the Black Friday special. So if I do my follow-ups correctly, and over the next 30 days, this intensive can make me about $50,000 to $60,000. Okay, everyone's on their own schedule. Some guys are going to do it this week. Some other people need a couple more weeks, but we're going to get it all done by December because they want to be able to get the write-off. And one of them has an IRA and is thinking about upgrading with it. And because of the CARES Act, you can go get a $100,000 loan from your IRA, tax-free, penalty-free, no fees, nothing, for up to $100,000, as long as you put it back within 3 years. That offer goes away December 31st. So I have a lady who's got 100,000 in her IRA. I'm saying, look, you can go and try to scrimp by and make payments and do your essentials and wait a few months, or you can get this thing right now, make an extra 20 grand over the next 3 years. You think you can make 20 grand somewhere? Yes. Okay. And then you just put it back. No big deal. And I'm like, I mostly got her that way, but she's still kind of going back and forth. Like, but what if I need that money? What if I need that money? She keeps getting stuck on, what if I need that money? And so I was like, you need it right now. You need it right now to get your education, right? You don't want to go back and try to get a master's degree and waste all that time and energy. You need it right now. So sometimes when you're helping people with retirement accounts and money, you got to just remind them it's their money, and that whole use it when you're 65 is something that the institution installed in their mindset. It's not necessary for them to wait till 65. If she needs money to improve her situation right now, and it's her money and she can get it out penalty-free, tax-free, what's the big deal? So yeah, exactly, Anthony. I told her, we're not pulling the whole 100,000 out. We're just getting enough for your education. And let's keep it simple. She also has a student loan and a car. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you have a car payment of $500 a month. You have a student loan payment of $300 a month. The car you owe like $15,000 on. The student loan you owe $30,000 on. So you could pull that $45,000 out of your account, pay off both of those liabilities, save $800 a month, and start putting that back in your account. So it's just trying to get her to realize she can use this money to better her situation now and not wait till she's 65. I think she's 51. So she's like, well, maybe if I just work another 10. I'm like, come on, that's not what you said when we first talked. You didn't want to work another 10. So this is what it's like to help people move through this decision-making process of spending their money on their education. So I think it's going to work. She also has a sales background. I need to show her the compensation plan. So that's what I've been working on. That's what's new for me since the weekend, keeping people on track, keeping people up to date. So looks like the chat's going crazy. Let me catch up here. Oh, good. Keely corrected the announcements. Yeah. Perfect. So this Thursday is not happening. Everyone's got to kill a bird and shove their face. So we're going to not have a wealth creation workshop. We're going to do the house tours on Tuesday. Pillars is on Wednesday. So please make that adjustment to your schedule. House tour Tuesday. Pillars Wednesday. Cool. Okay, Daniel says, is there a nice visual representation of this deal of extra coachings? A nice visual representation. I'm trying to be a smart aleck and nothing's coming. A nice visual representation. Does it have to be nice? Visual representation. Sure, I could get my iPad is in my other room for some reason. But basically, Daniel.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Michael. There is a PDF in the row team. I can pull it out and put it into Team Elevators on the two different offers. It's also
already
on the recording. If you request the recording, it's attached to the bottom of the recording.
So it's in Team Elevate as well right now. If you go pinned to the top of the page is all that information. And then also I put the PDFs and the files for Renata's Team Elevate.
Sweet. So it's in the files section as well as pinned as an announcement. So go into the groups and grab it. There you go, Daniel. So I'm going to grab that PDF and then send it to all of my guests too so that they can read it and be clear. Deadlines make people act, so get on the deadlines. Okay, will the recording be available? In order to receive the recordings of the intensive, fill out this form, 3030 recording request. And yep, you do have to be registered for that event in order to get the recording because everybody paid $50 to be there. So you don't get to just wait and then get the recording for free. It doesn't work like that. Cool. And then the nice thing about it is you can send these links out to your guests. So over the next 30 days, as I'm calling my LinkedIn leads, my meetup leads, my Facebook leads, my sign leads, as I'm calling all of them, I'm going to offer them this recording. And then what it's going to, like I've explained before, I'm going to make friends with them. I'm going to say, great. Well, now that I know I like you and you like me, let's set up an hour to talk. Oh, but before we get to that hour, I need you to watch this training. And I'm going to send them this recording and they're going to get to know Tony. Obviously, they can fast forward through the breaks and the lunches. But that's what I want them to do. And then when I get on the phone with them, they're going to go, holy crap, this is what you're doing? I'm going to be like, yep, it's only 23 grand. Are you in? Cool. So hopefully that clarifies that. Can you provide a few details on how the Get Funded Online works? So Deborah, Get Funded Online is a pre-assessment, pre-application. You're not actually filling out an application. You're doing an assessment to make sure that an application is worth it. Okay, because applications are yeses and nos. And if you get a no, it's going to show up on your report. So we're going to do an assessment, which tells us where to do an application so we only get yeses, which keeps our score high. Does that make sense? So I send all my people there. I'm probably going to end up sending Joe there. He has 120,000 in equity in his house. But it'll take 2 to 4 weeks to get the HELOC, whereas with Credit Nerds, it could take 1 to 2 weeks to get that. So it just kind of depends. I just want to make sure he gets the bonuses. Cool. How do I keep track of my leads? 2 ways, Alex. One is with a Google spreadsheet. So for just my sign leads, I just have a spreadsheet. Every time new leads come in, I just copy paste and put my own notes in there. And I only put out like 6 signs in the last month. I got like 15 leads and I've already made a sale off of it. But that's what happens when you're in a new city and they've never seen signs before. And then my other CRM that's keeping track of my LinkedIn leads, which I just spent like an hour and a half last night adding all my LinkedIn leads to that, all my recent ones. It is called Entreport. And I just picked Entreport because not really, Infusionsoft, I heard it was called Confusionsoft, so I stayed away from that. And then the next best comparable product was Entreport. It's kind of pricey though. It's like $400 or $500 a month. It's kind of annoying, but it's helping. It's keeping people on track, so keeping me on track too. Okay, so Tony offer is good for our guests that attend but can sign up till end of December. No. They need to sign up and get their order in by Friday. This Friday, the 27th. If they need to take a little bit longer to pay, That's okay as part of it, but their order needs to be in by Friday. Okay. If someone signs up in December, they'll still get 6 coaching sessions. They'll still get everything else with Renatus, but they're not going to get Tony's offerings or the corporate Black Friday special. That's a no-brainer, baby. Sign up by Friday. There we go. Okay, good. We're helping each other. That reminds me of people who die in the desert with a bottle of water in their hand. They need saving the water until they were saving the water until they needed it. Yep. Nicholas says, I already have my essentials. Can I still take advantage of the extra 6 one-on-one coaching sessions by purchasing by Friday? Yeah, Nicholas, anyone who has their essentials right now can still qualify for the bonus one-on-one coaching if they upgrade to their extreme by Friday. So get on it, Nicholas. Making money. Cool, Daniel. So go and grab that stuff and send it over. Bilal has a follow-up at noon today. Awesome. Remember to use your script and just look, give it a shot. That matter-of-factly, give me a break, reasonable guy tone. Just give it a shot.
Hey, Michael.
Yes.
Can I ask you a quick question real quick?
It's going to cost you. No, I'm just kidding. What's up?
Okay, so I did after the event, I did a quick follow-up with her through texting on Meetup. And she did say that the price is out of her budget for the classes, but she would love to join, but she loved the classes. She loved the training. I told her that we can have this conversation today and we can talk more in depth about that. So when I'm using the script that we have, how do I point out her rejection, the money's out of my budget?
With that one, you got to do math. She says it's out of my budget. You say, all right, what does that mean? That is so vague to me. I have no idea what that means. It's out of my budget. I'm not saying write a check for 23 grand right now. I'm saying, can you afford $100 a month? Can you afford $300 a month? Do you have a credit? Like Martin Potter was on our Zoom up last week as a guest, right? The dude made like $14,000 or $16,000 the year we met him. So he could have also said, it's not in my budget. It's more than my yearly income. But because he had a 700 credit score, he went and got credit cards. Now it's in his budget. So when someone says it's not in my budget, it's like, that's not even something to address in a way, because the how do I want to say this? Saying it's not in my budget is not even in the right mindset of what we're trying to do. It's like talking about something else. We're talking about becoming a real estate investor, and they say that's not in my budget. And it's like, there's no connection to those two ideas. They are separate. You want to be a real estate investor and you have no money, then you do real estate investing this way. If you want to be a real estate investor and you have money, you do real estate investing that way. So when it's not in your budget, that's not the kind of thinking that I entertain. I'm not trying to convince someone, oh yes, it is in your budget. I would go down the route of, because you think you can't do this, that tells me that the mindset you have around money is so messed up that you actually need this program more than you understand.
Okay. Because she mentioned that she loved the idea of how to look differently, how to change our mindset on looking on for good debt and bad debt. That was like one key major thing that she loved about the training.
So someone like might also think, oh man, I don't have 23 grand in my checking account, but I have 3,000 on a credit card I can access. But they still think, oh, it's not in my budget. Because then they go, oh man, now I just put $2,000 on my credit card. And you say, well, if you do your velocity banking, that was like $7. So how is $7 not in your budget? What are you talking about? To me, it's like they're making up an obstacle. So instead of me spending a bunch of time trying to smash the obstacle, I spend more time showing them that they made up the obstacle. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Word got in. He was making 16 grand a year. He got his education. So when someone says it's not in my budget, it's like, no, that's not even the right thinking. You're like, you're going down something that doesn't even make sense. We exist to help you make money. Therefore, we work with people who are just starting out with zero money. Do you want the help or not? No one looks at their 4-year college and goes, oh, it's not in my budget. They go, I will figure out a way to get this in. Either I'll pay as I go, or I'll get a student loan, or I'll do something. But they don't think it's not in my budget. And so because that thinking is stupid, it doesn't make sense. So I don't play into that.
Okay. Now, in your opinion, should I do like this call on my own, or should I just bring someone to help me out with it? I'm just kind of like a little short on time, that's why.
Depends on the
And
person.
she only responded yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, each guest, it depends, man. If they're a relator and they're looking for connections, great. Pile the people on the call. But if the more people on the call, then the less likely they are to open up about their finances, because now they're scared about other people judging them and their money.
Okay.
So there's a balance. It depends on the person.
All right. Thank you very much for your help.
Okay, you betcha.
Hey, Michael,
Yeah.
which drive did you just say would be embarrassed about their money situation?
It would most likely be the intellectuals,
Ah, okay, thank you.
because they're supposed to be so smart and have it all figured out, yet they're living paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Thank
don't like to admit it.
Cool.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so you got the training links right there. Okay, so Jenna has a quick little story for you, Bilal. I made less than 20K the year I signed up, had no resources, crap credit. My family didn't believe I would succeed in real estate. So those who had money or retirement accounts wouldn't lend. So if I can figure out a way to get started, anyone can. It's about being resourceful. That's what I'm talking about. And yeah, Bilal, maybe before you get on your call, send the lady the playlist of the Zoom ups so that she can watch a few stories before you get there, because facts tell and
Stories sell.
Story sells.
stories sell. There we go. Okay, fantastic. So who else had some guests at the intensive? Knickerbocker, Miri,
I did.
Renee.
Quick question on that. So
I did too.
I have an essentials profit student who's taken a bunch of classes and is always talking about all the stuff he learned. Actually, we talked yesterday, and he was saying how, oh yeah, this other guy that I took stuff, this is his specialty. And I don't know how to say things without sounding confrontational, because I want to say, oh yeah, what are you doing with that? But
It's called being carefrontational.
how do I do that? Is it the tone of voice or the words?
you still say the words that might be confrontational, but you change your tone to make it sound like you care. Remember, because confrontational around words is a judgment from someone else's perspective. You can't control that. But if you need to say the words you need to say them, just put it in a caring tone.
Can you show me what that sounds like for him? Because he's not making money, a lot of money doing real estate investing.
Well, why isn't he on this call?
Because he is a night owl. Well, that's his reason. He's a night owl. His kids are up super late, so he does the night thing, which I told him he can get recordings, but basically he's not plugging into anything. He's also not seeing.
Yeah, so I would probably do it on a Zoom so they can see me smile. Tell me what's up. How's it going? And they're gonna say, oh yeah, this, that, and be like, okay, well, great. I really do recommend you get on these calls in the morning, especially if you're gonna be a night owl. You need to get on the Tuesday night call with Gavin and the Thursday night call for the study groups. So you're doing that, right? And he's gonna say, well, no, I got my own schedule and whatever. And then it's simply, okay, how's that going for you? How's that going for you? And if you keep that up, how's it going to look in 6 months? How's it going to look in a year? And listen for a real answer and then say, look, here's what I know. The people make a lot of money in this company. They plug into the community. They come to the events. They come to the trainings. You want to make money. This is where the care comes in. You want to make money. I want to help you, but you're not doing the necessary things. It's like if we went into the gym, you want me to pick up the weights for you. What the hell is that all about?
So one of the things that I noticed with him is he's got a bunch of different companies. He's got insurance and CBD oils and credit repair. He's got all these things, and I don't know how you can ride 5 horses at one time, which I've tried to explain, but.
Yeah, so yeah, be getting a little more clear on what his goals are, because some businesses, like, is his goal to own 5 businesses or is his goal to be rich?
Okay.
Right? 5 businesses and young kids, and you don't get up early in the morning. I don't see you getting rich.
Yeah.
But if his goal is to have 5 businesses, then he's a success. So that's why I want to get clear. What is your goal? Where do you want to be 2 years from now, 100 weeks from now? Where do you want to be? And then if they're like, oh, well, I want to be down 100 pounds, and let's say they're super overweight. All right, great. So this is where you want to be. Show me your meal plan. And they go, cookie dough ice cream. What are you talking about? Okay, so help him find his contradictions. I think that's where the carefrontational comes in. You're not making him wrong, okay? Which could be misinterpreted, but that's fine. Again, that's their interpretation. You're not making him wrong. You're highlighting, you're bringing to light a contradiction that is causing a block in them. So Jim Rohn would say, help him see the mess, but don't leave him in the mess.
So what he's telling me is that a couple things he said. One, that the people he's got in his contacts or the people he's meeting don't have the money, which I'm going to go back to what you just taught about. That's a mindset thing. If you don't have the resources, then learn how to be resourceful, and you definitely need this program. The other thing is he's saying to me that, oh, he's doing good with the insurance. So that's what he's focusing on. And
so then I would say, what is good? Because some people think that $3,000 a month is good, and some people need $3,000 a week. What's good for you? And if that's good, then why are you doing the other things? If that's good, why are you doing these other things? Right? Where's the contradiction?
Cool.
And you do it from this place of caring. So, you don't end calls early. You don't end calls with any sort of challenging energy. It's like, look, dude, I'm your coach. And if I don't point these things out, then I'm not doing a good job. It's on you to fix it, but I'm here to point it out. And, that's why I share the pirate and the bartender joke?
Haven't heard it.
You haven't heard? Yeah, you have. Who wants
I'm
to tell
forgetting
the
it then.
joke?
Renee, have you not heard the intro presentation?
She,
It's every single time in the intro.
for like 2 years, I've been saying the same damn joke.
Oh. I'll have to think back.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to tell the joke? Who's heard it enough to tell it? All right, Keely, go for it.
All right, let's see how I do.
Okay.
So a pirate walks into a bar, and the bartender, they haven't seen each other in a long time, says, "How you doing?" And the pirate goes, "Well, I'm doing pretty good." And the bartender asks him, "Man, last time I saw you, you didn't have a peg leg. What happened?" And the pirate says, "Well, I was out on the ocean, and one of the other boats shot a cannon, and it blew up my leg, so I got a peg leg." And the bartender says, "Wow, the life of a pirate, that's got to be rough. That doesn't explain your hook. How'd you get your hook?" And the pirate says, "Well, I was in a sword fight, and the other pirate got my hand, so here's my hook." And bartender says, "Well, that doesn't explain the eye patch. How'd you get the eye patch?" And the pirate says, "Well, I was looking up at the sky. We were on the ocean, and a bird pooped in my eye." And the bartender says, "Bird poop? How did you lose your eye to bird poop?" And the pirate said, "Well, that was the first week that I had my hook."
Okay, I remember this now.
Yeah. And now the reason behind that joke, Renee, is because any area of unawareness is going to lead to pain.
Ooh.
Okay, so if he's unaware that he's making these contradictions or these claims or these limiting beliefs, he's going to hurt himself. So you're just creating more awareness around the mess that people put themselves in. And when you come from a place of caring and you're doing that, they'll absolutely love you. There's never going to be any hard feelings.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, I have a quick question. What were the signs that you're putting out saying?
They are saying, let me just pull up a picture real quick. I copied them from Megan Dale, actually. But yeah, let me just, I will pull it up and show you.
Michael, can you also address what kinds of neighborhoods we should be putting those signs into? What's your criteria?
I usually go to judgmentalmaps.com. And based off of the stereotypes, because although nobody likes a stereotype, they're still based in reality. So then you just look at the city and you go, oh, well, there's Little Mexico. Okay. And there's wannabe hippies over here. And here's early retirees. And here's, wealthy gay people. And here's this and that. And you pick where you want to put your signs. Who do you want to talk to? Who do you want to be on your team?
I meant like, do you find it's better like near freeway access, or out where there's is it more rental area, or is it more owners, or is there some sort of thing like that?
Again, it depends on who you want to talk to. If you put them in rental areas, then you're going to talk about the benefits and how working with you can get you to home ownership. If you put it in a homeowner area, then you're going to talk about the benefits of working with you, get you to paying your house off and saving a lot of interest. So just what kind of conversation do you want to have? Who do you want to talk to? What side of Renatus do you want to sell or highlight? It's up to you.
Thank you.
Don't put them on stop signs though.
Okay.
You can put it on a stake in the ground in front of a stop sign, but no zip tying to stop signs. You can zip tie to fences or whatever, something else, but not stop signs, because if you interfere with a traffic controlled device, now you are breaking the law.
Good info, thanks.
Okay, so when I go to share this, I'm not sure if it is showing. Does this, can you see the sign?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I didn't make the sign up. I got it from Megan Dale. Everyone knows about Megan. Yeah, she's a badass. So here I am just in the truck writing out signs. And it's freaking raining, if you can see on the windshield. And the little voice in my head was like, it's raining. Go home. And I was like, oh, hell no. I heard about you before. You're always trying to talk me out of shit. I'm not listening to you. And I went and put out a bunch of signs. Got soaking wet. Worth it. Worth it for two reasons. One, I got a sale out of it already. And I only put out like 6 of these things. And 2, that little voice hasn't showed up again because I put my foot on its neck. So these are full-size signs, right? 18 tall, 24 long, so people can see them from far away. And they're compliant. So there you go. Chuck, you take a screenshot?
Where should we buy those? Where's the best place?
Internet.
Would you like to share your source? Brat.
I think I just got those off of Amazon. Like, people compete on Amazon for pricing, so I just went on Amazon and found a 100 box that was pretty cheap, or at least I thought it was. So it was like between the signs, the markers, the zip ties, and the stakes, because I decided to get both kinds. I think I spent like $200.
Cool.
I have a question.
Okay.
So I have someone, a warm market lead that came in through a family that I was a doula for. And once he got online on Saturday, he was like, oh, I've seen Renatus before. I actually had some jerk named Mike, not Mike White, who I called from a bandit sign a few years ago. And I signed up as an ICM, but then I didn't feel supported, so I stopped.
Nice.
And then he let his ICM go inactive, hasn't even like tried to sign on in a year at least. And he wasn't protected, but I didn't know this, like all the things about him already being an ICM until after he showed up on Saturday. So if he has let his ICM lapse and hasn't been in contact with anyone for over a year, how does that work?
Free agent.
Sweet. All right. Well, he's ready to get started. And then had another follow-up yesterday at 2 p.m. with Mike, and it was literally the easiest conversation ever. He has to get his funding set up, but was like, sign me up pretty much right away. And so things are going well in that regard. It's also because he's a director and relator, and I was able to nail that really easily as far as the language that he needed for what he's trying to do with like community support and community outreach. But yeah, okay, cool. The one about the previous ICM was my main question. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a follow-up on Friday. So in case you guys don't know, on the pillars presentation at the very end, I also put a link to my calendar for a 15-minute phone call for anybody. And so last Friday, 3 people took advantage of that. And at 10 a.m., the first guy signed up, bought his essentials. Like, I was like, hey, we got 15 minutes. What do you want to do? And he was like, basically, I want to make sure this is legit. And then by the end of that, he put his card number in. Then the second one was someone for Mike, and he already basically prepped her. She just wanted to hear from me if she was on the right track. And then the third one, she's going through Get Funded Online. Looks like everything's approved. So part of what I'm saying is, if you put people onto the pillars presentations, don't be surprised if they call you and say, hey, I just got off the phone with Michael and I'm getting some things going, because that's what I'm working on. Again, whoever gets on the phone with me, I sign them up. If they're not on my team or my organization somewhere, I just take that info, I call corporate and have someone at corporate enter it so it goes to the right person. So keep building for these events. Get off your ass, face your fear, make these calls, be confrontational. Don't take no for an answer. Find the contradiction. Don't leave them in the mess. And tell some jokes. Okay, if there's some tension, you say, can I tell you a joke? And then bust out the pirate joke. Bilal, could you tell the pirate joke?
I could. Not
Yeah.
as funny as it is, but I could make it.
Okay, so if you need to use the pirate joke, use the pirate joke.
Okay, I think I might be using it today with this lady because
Nice.
it's pretty good. It's right on point. But can I actually point something talking about the signs? I just want to tell people to check with your city and your town laws, because, for example, here in my city, if you want to do signs on the roads, you have to pay a deposit, $200 deposit, and you have to name the addresses where you're putting the signs. You can't just go out and put signs wherever you want, or they're going to be taken and you're going to be fined for that. I had like 50 signs made up and everything set up, and then they told me that. So I'm like, well, I don't know what the address is that I'm putting the signs on. It's just,
Interesting.
so keep that in mind, guys.
Yep, always check. Always follow the rules. Cool. Well, what a fun Monday. It sounds like we got some good action items. I give you a breakdown of who I'm spending my time with this week and where and how I'm handling my leads, objections, and getting some orders in. And let's stay focused on that. Top priority, not comfort. Closing. Closing is priority. Comfort comes later. Cool. How do you respond to, I will take the money and do deals instead? Okay, good luck. How's that going for you? Yeah. So great. That actually reminds me of like 50 people I know that tried it and didn't do it. But I mean, if you want to go for it, okay. Use a story, LaShawn. Use a story. I'm sure you know someone who lost money on a deal. And so tell that story. Oh yeah, I know somebody who did that. Just because they had the money doesn't mean they could. They could do it effectively or efficiently. And so that person ended up losing money. You can watch Nathan Tabor. He shares a story on how he lost like $150,000 on a deal because he wasn't educated. You can go watch his class and get the story.
I have someone like that right now. I've actually been working with him for about a year off and on, trying to get him to an event. And he inherited over $800,000 last year when his father passed. And this is a friend of mine. And he went to Thursday night and was being pretty arrogant about it and was saying that he sees equals in the room, or like equals with the speakers, and like didn't feel like he had much to gain from what we were offering. And so it's a very interesting journey so far. We do have a follow-up, but Michael, if you'd be open to it, I'd love to circle you into a 15-minute call with him.
Sure.
Because he has the ability to like fund immediately and get started. And he wants to do flips, but is just being a know-it-all because he's a teacher and super smart.
Get him on the phone with Bill Predabon too.
Yeah, that's cool. I will text Bill.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right,
Thanks.
folks. I gotta run. Have a great day. Chase your dreams. Talk to you soon.
Thanks,
Michael.
Mike.
Thank you, Michael.